You know that feeling when you want something so badly, but then it just doesn't pan out? Or maybe you feel that constant pressure to get more, to be more. Well, today we're going to dive into a really simple story that has a surprisingly powerful message about how to find some peace in a world that never stops wanting. This is the wisdom of the fruitless tree. So let's start with this incredible idea from the Buddhist teacher Ajahn Chah. He basically said that life itself is our best teacher. You don't have to go digging through ancient books or sit through complicated lectures. The wisdom is literally all around us, just waiting for us to notice. And that simple but really profound idea is the key to the whole story we're about to get into. And to really bring this idea home, Ajahn Chah would tell this ancient parable. It's the story of one of the Buddha's past lives, a time when he was this great, noble king named Mahajanaka. Okay, so picture this. The king is taking a trip through this beautiful, lush park, riding high on his elephant. And as he's going along, his eyes land on these magnificent mango trees, and they are just loaded with the most perfect, ripe fruit you can imagine, practically calling out to be eaten. Now, he couldn't stop right then and there, but the idea got stuck in his head. He made a mental note. I'm coming back later tonight to get some of those. You can just feel his excitement building, right? He can already taste how sweet they're going to be. But here's where it gets interesting. The king wasn't the only one who spotted those mangoes. His ministers, who are following him, saw them too. But where the king felt this happy anticipation, they just saw something they could grab right now. And in their greed, they just went for it. They started beating the branches with sticks, tearing off the leaves, completely destroying the trees just to get to the fruit. All right, so fast forward to that evening. The king comes back, his mind just filled with thoughts of those sweet, juicy mangoes. He's been looking forward to this all day. But the scene he finds is just devastating. The trees are completely stripped, the branches are all broken and twisted, there are torn leaves all over the ground. That beautiful orchard from just a few hours ago, it's a complete wreck. And just like that, poof! All that excitement he was feeling is gone. All that's left is this incredibly bitter disappointment. You see, his attachment to getting that fruit became the direct cause of his own suffering. But as he stood there, looking over all the damage, his eyes drifted, and he noticed something odd, something that didn't quite fit. In the middle of all that chaos, one tree was standing there, perfectly fine. A single mango tree, totally untouched. Its branches were whole, its leaves were green and healthy. It was like this little island of peace in a sea of destruction. So, of course, the king has this huge question mark hanging over his head. Why? How in the world was this one tree spared when all the others were torn apart? The king walked closer, trying to solve this mystery. And the answer, when it finally hit him, was unbelievably simple, but also incredibly deep. It had no fruit, that's it. Because it didn't have anything that anyone else wanted, nobody even bothered with it. It was just left alone, in total peace. And this is where the lesson really clicks. You look at the fruitful tree, it was desired, so it got attacked and broken, becoming a source of suffering. Then you look at the fruitless tree, it was ignored, so it stayed untouched, whole, and in the end, it was a source of peace and a huge lesson for the king. In that one moment, King Mahajanaka had this huge aha moment. He finally understood that whenever we have things that other people desire, whether it's money or status or even just getting praise, we're kind of setting ourselves up for suffering. There's the anxiety of trying to protect it, the pain if we lose it, and the anger if someone takes it. It all comes with the territory. And let's be real, this isn't just a story about mangoes. What's the fruit in our lives today? Is it that job title you're clinging to? That new phone you just have to have? Or maybe it's the number of likes you get on a post. These are our modern-day mangoes, and they can cause a ton of stress. This big insight led the king to a whole new idea of what real peace is, what's called the unshaken mind. It's that state of deep inner calm that comes when you stop attaching your happiness to things outside of yourself. It's the freedom of not clinging to anything, because then you really have nothing to lose. And that brings us right back to where we started with Ajahn Chah's wisdom. Life itself is the teacher. A simple observation of two different trees taught the king more than any book in his library ever could. The wisdom was right there the whole time, as soon as he knew how to really look. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Take a good look at your own life.
What's the fruit that you're holding on to so tightly that might actually be weighing you down? And what would it feel like to just let it go?